Oh, man. Welcome in, man. Um, this is your NFL Week 4 recap. And, the Saints, you go from being a team that nobody was paying attention to. You start off 2-0, scoring 40 plus points a game. Your defense isn't allowing more than 20 points. You're getting turnovers, you're getting stops, no penalties. All these things are happening, right? You do it against a bad team, and then you do it against a perceived playoff team. And and right on target, I said there are going to be close games. We're not going to be scoring 40 points every week, right? So all these things happen, and I said, okay, Eagles, they desperately needed that win after what happened to them. So you come out, you lose a close game, a bad play on defense, and they spring a big play, and they're able to get into the end zone and win the football game. And Derek Carr throws I don't know what the hell that was, but I say, you know what? It's okay. It's one game. It's not who we are. We come right back the next week. And again, we play fine. We 24 points, drive down, score, pass interference penalty. They kick a 50-plus yard field goal, win the football game. And I've come to two realizations. One of them is that this defense is actually the issue. The defense is the issue. I'm sorry. That's just the case. This defense isn't that good. And I know a lot of analysts and pundits will say, oh, the defense is fine, but it's Derek Carr, and you can't trust him and all that stuff. That pick he threw was tipped, and you know what happens when you get footballs bouncing in the air, bouncing off people's helmets and all kinds of stuff. Anything can happen. So, he tried to jump it and he couldn't. He tried to jump the defender and couldn't, and they got batted and deflected, and that it is what it is. But for the most part, he has taken care of business uh, as far as not turning the football over this season. You go back to the one against the Cowboys. Again, we're up by 1,000,000 points. He just kind of gets a little too excited and throws one over, and they get one. The game's over. Um, then you go to the one last week at the end of the game, which again I don't know where he was throwing that ball. That's on him because we're trying to get a chance to come back, kick a field goal, to win the game, and he just flubbed that one up. So I get that, but for the last 2 weeks, and even if you want to go back to the Cowboys game, early on in that game we were giving up drives and they were going up and down the field. This defense it gives up too many big plays. They just give up too many big plays. They give up too many big plays, and then they get holding, pass interference penalties, and all kinds of other stuff. When you put those two things together, folks, you're not going to win football games. What happened against the Eagles is very simple. Goddard made two big plays with one huge play. Saquon Barkley makes an extra huge play. That's the game. Then he runs one in the end zone. That's the game. We had a game-winning touchdown drive, Derek Carr to Chris Olave, to take the lead in that game. And what happens? Just stupidity on defense. Then we come back out next week. The offense is flying up and down the field, making plays. Taysom Hill goes down. The offense changes a bit, but we're still able to get points. We drive down right to the goal line, run it in. Kamara, touchdown. And what did I tell you guys? Taysom Hill is the difference on this team. He is the guy that when you don't have him, it changes everything because of all the things he can do. Kamara's great, and when he's great, we're on. But again, Kamara runs and catches it out the backfield. Hill can do 5 other things. And we're not just talking offense, we're talking special teams as well. Look how many times that we could have not given them the ball at the 30. They could have had the ball at the 10 or the 20 or the 15 or whatever because of special teams. All that makes a difference. All that matters. Hill came in first quarter. We're going up and down the field. No question about it. You got to worry about Hill. You got to worry about Kamara. Now you got Shaheed and Olave up top. You have these things going. And the real problem becomes that our team, for whatever reason, when it's time to get close and things get tough, we say no. Pass interference penalty, which, whatever. Gets him in field goal range. Game over. So, you got a Monday night game against the Chiefs in Kansas City. They're undefeated. The Chiefs really haven't looked good at all this season, but the other teams just keep giving them the game. Penalties, turnovers. They just keep giving the Chiefs the game. When you have a team that's great and you're facing a team like an old Patriots or old Colts team, when you get penalties that put you in third and long situations, when you turn the ball over, they're going to capitalize because they've been here, they've done that. They've been to countless Super Bowls. They understand what needs to be done. So, again, go back to last year. Go watch those games against the Bengals, the Texans, the Rams. Go watch them. The Ravens. Go watch these football games. And you will slowly start to see that when it comes to close games, we just can't win them anymore. When we had Sean Payton, I never worried about us losing close games because we always found a way. And we didn't have the pieces we have now. So, for some reason, I still think we can go on the road and beat Kansas City. I don't know why I think that. Because I still, we're still a good football team. I truly believe that. Are we a 1 or 2 seed? No. Not at this current juncture. Can we turn it around? Heck yeah. We still got 13 games in the bye week. Of course we can turn it around. The problem is going to be for us is we just can't seem to win close games. Do I expect it to be a close game Monday night? Next Monday? Yeah. Can we win it? Of course we can. Will we? We'll see. But, this is just the things I have to deal with this team. Tugging on my heartstrings first 2 weeks, which I knew. I kept telling people, we'll find out. Once it gets close, what can we do? Now, again, to our credit, we were down in both those games. Derek Carr leads us down, touchdown, both times. Our defense makes 2 stops in each of those games. We're 4-0 undefeated, heading to Monday night against the Chiefs in an undefeated matchup. But, so we just can't get it done. So, but yeah, nothing more to say. We've given the last 2 games away because our defense just refuses to make plays. So, it's just what it is right now. So, it's going to be a tough slate going forward, but I still think there's a lot of games we can win if we play the way I know we're capable of playing. But yeah, Saints, disappointing, but nothing for me to get all crazy about because I've seen it coming. But Dennis Allen, it's on you. The offense is fine, even if we do score 10 points. I have faith that Derek Carr can lead us to the promised land. But again, when your defense gives up 2 drives for touchdowns and a field goal, and that's the end result of the game, you have a problem. Yeah, we got injuries, but again, if you have a good organization, that stuff doesn't matter. Look at the Chiefs. For example, guys step up. Bills, same thing. Guys step up. The last hype wasn't an indication of that, but they step up. So, speaking of Bills and Ravens, complete destruction. Ravens are now back to 2-2. There are a lot of teams that get to 2-2. Some teams lost their first two, got it going like the Ravens. Some teams started 2-0, lost their last two like the Saints. So again, it's early in the season, but I'm already starting to see signs in the first quarter of the season. So Bills will be fine. I just think they went to Baltimore on Sunday night and again ran into a brick wall against the Ravens. The Ravens are a very good football team. I figured they'd be a very good football team. They just started out slow, had some struggles, had a toenail, gave up a lead against the Raiders. Otherwise, they could be 4-0. So, again, a lot of coulds and ifs and shoulds, but at the end of the day, we got to deal with what's happening. And the Bills are still a very good football team, and they'll be just fine. They just ran into a buzzsaw against a very good Baltimore team. And Baltimore did not take their foot off the pedal. They kept it going, turned the football over. Going up and down the field, King Henry doing what he does, Lamar showing why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And again, they got to get to the Super Bowl. They had a chance last year and couldn't get it done. So I think it's Super Bowl or they're going to have to start retooling their team because they have the pieces, in my opinion, to get there. Defensively and offensively, they can do it. The Chiefs aren't unbeatable. I've seen that their first 4 games. Each one of those games, teams had chances. You just couldn't capitalize. But to me, Bills, I don't think it's an indictment. Like I said, I just think they ran into a buzzsaw on Sunday night. And that happens, man. It's going to happen. To where you just don't have your best stuff. And no matter what you do, no matter how crazy Josh Allen is and running around making plays, it's just not your day. And like I said, I don't think any team's going undefeated this season. I don't. Chiefs are undefeated right now. They go to LA, penalties for the Chargers, constant false start, illegal procedure penalties, constant penalties. That the Chiefs weren't doing anything in this game. They really didn't do anything. Other than that bomb to Worthy, they did nothing all game. And the Chargers just penalties, penalties, penalties. And when you do that, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to end up going 3-0. And that's what happened. And Jim Harbaugh, again, it's early, first season with the Chargers. They will be just fine. But, again, that's not something you see from a Jim Harbaugh coach team. He will get it cleaned up. He will get it fixed. And I'm telling you, when they go to Kansas City to play him again, you won't see that. You won't see those procedural penalties and turn the football over. You just won't see it. So, great game. I mean, it really was a great game. Defenses shined, but again, Chargers, they got to get out their own way. And I think if they do that, you'll see a different result than what we saw. Because that's not going to get it done. If you're the Chargers, it's not good enough. So we'll see what happens, but I sincerely doubt that you're going to see the same Chargers team later on this season. I just don't think you'll see it. So, but we'll see what happens. Next, you go. How about JD5? How about JD5? I told you guys he could take this team to the playoffs. There's always a team on each side that comes out every year that nobody's expecting. JD5, they could be that team to get into the 6th or 7th spot. That Monday night game really was an eye-opener. It really was something that we can hang our hat on as far as the past couple of LSU quarterbacks. You saw that with the Bengals and what they did against the Panthers. Defense is still terrible, in the Bengals case. But they were going to win that game all the way. I saw that coming. So I had no quibbles about that. They were going to win that football game. It was a little close for comfort. But again, their defense isn't that good. And the Commanders, I didn't think their defense was that good, but they stepped up today against Kyler Murray. He could do nothing. They shut him down. So I'm very happy for JD5, happy for Joey Burrow. Both get wins, both get road wins, uh, and they both took care of their business. JD, he can make all the throws. Both these LSU quarterbacks can make all the throws. They can move out the pocket, run and get yards if they have to. The packages that they're putting up with him running the football right and left is just beautiful. He's barely getting touched, but that's what you want when you have a quarterback that thin but mobile. You want him to get touched as least as possible, and that also has to do with putting your linemen and your receivers and your tight ends and fullbacks in good positions to where they're able to get out on a block and not have whether his guy gets first down, gets out of bounds, or scores. You want him to not to get touched, and that's what they've done so far. So, congratulations to the Commanders. Again, they got the Browns or somebody this week at home. So again, they could very well be 4-1 going into they got the Cowboys in a couple weeks, so we'll really see what they're about. But great start. But as you know, in the NFL, a lot of teams get off to good starts and falter, and some teams start slow and find their way at the end. We've seen the Niners do it. We've seen the Rams do it. We've seen the Steelers do it. We've seen teams do this. So that's why I say it's the first quarter of the season. Put everything that's happened so far in the first 4 games, after these 2 Monday night games, put all that behind you, and let's see what can happen. But I really do believe that it's going to be a really good game going forward. It just is. So, but again, a couple surprising outcomes. Vikings really, for the most part, running over the Packers, and Jets kind of fumbling and losing to the Broncos at home. Broncos look good. Go on the road to Tampa Bay, run the Tampa Bay over. Go to New York against Aaron Rodgers, get that win. And the thing people keep understanding, the difference between my Saints and these other teams who are getting victories that nobody's expecting, it doesn't matter how you win early on as long as you're getting the victories. You put on the tape later on and you figure out how to get better. That's what my team can't do. I mean, we can figure out how to get better, but we're not doing it with wins. We're doing it with losses. So that just makes it more difficult. But no, man, great win for the Broncos. Great win for the Bengals. Great win for the Commanders. Great win for the Vikings. Awesome win for the Colts. Anthony Richardson gets knocked out. He's done for the rest of the game. I think it was just a concussion protocol, but nothing serious. But guess what? Joe Flacco, of all people, again rises up, leads his team down the field, scores, and they shut that game away. And again, Justin Fields still should be the starter. I don't want to hear anybody that says anything else. He should be the starter. And unless or until he has a terrible performance where he's turned the ball over and they're losing, that's it. Or he gets hurt. Those are the only 2 things. Other than that, if they lose it, he's going to lose games. It's just going to happen. They're not going undefeated. They wouldn't go undefeated with Russell Wilson either. So he's a starter for the foreseeable future. Like I said, until one of those 2 things happen. So I just think people need to relax. Colts get a good victory. Again, the Colts are going to be one of those teams, man, that fighting at the end. Because the Titans, and it'll be between the Texans and the Colts for that division. And it may very well come down to that last week. Because the Colts still have to go to Houston. So it could come down to those 2 teams. That division always comes down to 2 teams. It always comes down to 1 game. So I believe it'll be Texans Colts. Winner wins the division, and loser probably gets a playoff spot. But Anthony Richardson has got he was playing great in this game, by the way, until that happened. But you got Joe Flacco, a man who led the Browns to the playoffs, and they didn't look good at all. And we've seen him win a Super Bowl. So if you can trust anybody to maintain or steady the ship just in case something does happen to Richardson, it's Joe Flacco. So great job by Joe and my boy running back, which his name is escaping me right now. But it's early. It's Monday. Getting ready to start the work day. So my brain's still a little foggy, but um, yeah, it'll come to me at some point. But yeah, great game by the running back and Alec Pierce doing what Alec Pierce does. So great win for the Colts. Trying to think of the other games that happened that were consequential to something. Just like I said, it's all off the early Monday morning, off the top of the head. Just giving you quick recaps of basically what happened on Sunday. Raiders and Browns, not really much to talk about there. Both these teams aren't good, so I don't even want to spend too much time on it. Yeah, that not much else to talk about when it comes to that, So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I just think that for now, I think it's just going to be a feeling out process as far as the NFL goes. A lot of turnovers, a lot of penalties, a lot of odd games. So will that continue? I have no idea, but I do think that's going to have to get better because there's been penalties all over the place, and it's really making these games out of whack, and it's making them hard to watch. So, Bucks and Eagles. That's what I want to do. Nasty work, sloppy work by the Eagles. I picked them to win. I really thought they'd rise above, but no A.J. Brown, no Devonta Smith. You can't really pass the ball. They're turning the ball over. Jalen Hurts just giving the ball away as he's been prone to do. So it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a long season for the Eagles if they can't get healthy and Jalen Hurts can't stop turning the football over. Saquon Barkley can't do everything, and they're going to find that out in short order. That he can't just run up and down the field every game and do whatever they want. So yeah, might be a long season for the Eagles, and I had them winning this division, and they still can, but man, and the Cowboys don't look that good either. So much like I had before, it could just be a case and a situation to where the Commanders can win this division. As much as people tried to laugh that off before, it's a strong possibility that could happen. It's not beyond the realm that they can win this division because they just look like the best team in the division right now. And of course, it's early, first quarter of the season, so we got to just wait. But no, that was an abhorrent game by the Eagles, and the Bucks got back on the schneid. Baker Mayfield unpumpkined himself, so happy for him. Rams and Bears. I thought the Bears would win this game. I just felt like Caleb Williams at some point was going to have to throw a touchdown and make a play, and he did. Swift got going with that touchdown. This defense is really good. And obviously it was the Rams, and they don't have much. But still, it's still Matthew Stafford. And pretty much whoever they've played, the Bears-wise, their defense has been on point. So I really like their defense. I think that Jaquan Brisker and those guys back there, they make a lot of plays. They rally to the football. And they do what good defense is supposed to do. Something that my defense can't seem to do at all. Dude. We do get turnovers, though. I will say that. But we can't stop it when it matters. And they did. Their team did. When it matters, they halted the Rams and Tutu Atwell and these guys. And Kyron Williams. They stopped them. So, great win for the Bears. And again, they get themselves to 2-2. So a lot of teams, like I said, even first quarter of the season, I think that we're jumping to conclusions. We're reacting to what we've seen so far through the first 4 games. We still got 2 games tonight to really cap off the first quarter of the season. But hey, it's going to be a fun race all the way to the end, as it usually is. There's going to be games that decide it. And the way my team's playing, it looks like we'll be fighting for a playoff spot yet again. And the Bucks just seem to have something that we don't have. They have Baker playing well, and hell, Carr's playing well too. But their defense seems to get stops that we can't get. So it's just sick. It really is. So, but yeah, that's gonna be your NFL Week 4 recap. We will get back to you. I will have obviously picks. This is gonna be a kind of a dry week, if you will, as far as NFL and college go. My Tigers have a bye week, and the Saints have obviously the Chiefs on Monday night, so it won't be, that's all the way next Monday. So kind of a dry week for my teams, but just kind of a dry week overall, just because not too many just like games that just stand out to you. There are some big games in college, um, maybe one or two here in the NFL, but most of the games in the NFL that are big are Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games. Not really that 12, 3 o'clock window. Not too many big games as far as teams go. Kind of just average teams facing each other, trying to grind out a win. So, but I will have picks loaded up for NFL and college, obviously, this week. Doing well in college, 30 plus games above 500. NFL, I really didn't have a good week at all. So NFL picks wise, I'm pretty sure I'll be still behind. But we'll let you know how everything goes with that. I'll give you my overall records as far as when I make picks coming up this week. But hope everyone enjoys their Monday and has a great week. And I'll be talking to you guys later.